Hey, my friend, this is Aaron Hill, and I have a question for you. If you could have any superpower, which one would you want? Would you want to be fast like the Flash, strong like Wonder Woman, have X-ray vision like Superman? It can be fun imagining what it would be like to have a superpower. But what if I told you that you actually have a real-life superhuman power, one that you may have never heard of before? Now, it won't allow you to leap from tall buildings, but it does have the capacity to make you a better human being. If you've never heard of it, it's called Interoception, and it's our least known and least understood sensory system. Again, it won't make you see through walls and have X-ray vision. However, it will make you a better human. The qualities that make us a better human are qualities like empathy, compassion, resilience, good emotional regulation, and good mental health. I don't know about you, but I take these things over other things any day. It's more realistic. Now, we know about our sense of smell and sight, and these other senses that allow us to perceive what's going on in the world around us. Interoception, on the other hand, is the capacity, the ability, the power to know what's going on inside of our body. For instance, have you ever thought about how you notice hunger or thirst? Interoception is that power and that capacity and ability to pick up those cues to tell us that we're hungry, we're thirsty, we're feeling pain, etc. And the vagus nerve is the main pathway for this information. It's a really complex nervous system that connects our brain to different internal organs. If you were wondering, vagus is Latin for wandering. And we can see that it makes sense because of how much of our body is connected here. One of the important things about this nerve is that 80% of the messages sent through the nerve move in the direction of the body to the brain and not the other way around. The primary job of the vagus nerve is to tell our brain what's happening here inside our bodies. It's like the control or command center for the body. Interoceptive awareness is our ability to pick up on the cues that our body is sending us. I have to remind you, your body is always sending you messages. The question is whether or not you're listening to your body. Research shows us that some people are naturally better at this kind of sensory perception than others. For instance, here's a test. See if you can count the number of heartbeats that you have in, say, a minute, just using your internal sensations as a guide. So I'll give you a few seconds to see if you can notice this sensation on your own. So did you feel it? Research shows us that some people are really accurate at being able to count their heartbeats, while some people are not. Interoception operates largely in our subconscious awareness. It's our ability to pick up and notice these cues consciously that will help us to regulate our body. We see this in how we manage food, hunger, thirst. But this real-life superpower, this superhuman power, isn't about just managing our bodies. That's just the beginning. It also helps us to shape our emotions, our moods, and our thought processes. Most of us think that emotions start in the thinking brain. But what if I told you that emotions really start in your physical body as sensations? Neuroscientists are trying to always understand the way that our brain uses these physical sensations as clues about the emotions that we're feeling. Emotional experiences are tapestries. which means they're layered with both different kinds of emotions and physical sensations. So we intuitively know that emotions and physical sensations are tied together. We hear this in the language that we use every day. We say things like, my heart skipped a beat, I have a lump in my throat, I have butterflies in my stomach. This is the communication and the language that we use to put together our emotional experiences and physical experiences. Different emotions produce different sensations. Anger feels different than joy. Frustration feels different than anxiety. Nervousness feels different than happiness. And when we notice these subtle or not so subtle differences at times, it gives us information about the emotions that we're feeling, particularly for the challenging emotions like anxiety and frustration. We can use these cues and physical sensations as information to know what's going on so that we can practice emotional regulation. We can do something for ourselves to manage this state that we're in. So the benefit of interoception is that it doesn't just help us with our own emotion. It also helps us to pick up, experience, and understand the emotions of others through things like empathy, which is the ability to feel what other people are feeling. We share emotions as humans. We're a social species. Also, interoception isn't just about emotions. It gives us information to help us to know ourselves better and to have deeper and deeper levels of self-awareness. We learn our likes and our dislikes with these interoceptive cues. For instance, how do you know what flavor of ice cream that you prefer when there's so many different flavors to choose from? How do you know? Funny thing is, whether it's chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, all of this happens, believe it or not, through interoception, the cues that our body is giving it. And also, the enjoyment of it is also linked to interoception. The way that we enjoy it in our minds and our body and our whole experience. So in addition to helping you to know what flavor of ice cream you like, it's also going to help you with more important things, like who am I attracted to? What kind of person? What kind of career interests me? Where would I like to live? This superhuman power helps us to be amazing human beings living high qualities of lives, experiencing our body, our emotions, regulating ourselves, giving us empathy, compassion, deeper senses of self-awareness. So I don't know about you, but I'd choose these qualities over being faster than a speeding bullet any day, even though it would be nice. So even though we're talking about the great things that interoception does for us, it's also important to talk about the places of challenge for us. So what happens for people that struggle to connect with their body? This happens for people regularly because of mental health challenges, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder. These challenges all share one thing: difficulty with interoceptive awareness. Some of us have challenges picking up on these sensation cues, expressing and identifying emotions, or even regulating emotions. Here's some examples. People with depression can have a real struggle with positive emotions. Many times they experience emotional numbness and a lack of an ability to pick up things that are going on within their physical body. But then on the other hand, there are people that are really good at picking up these sensations. Maybe even too good, a bit hypersensitive. This is true for people that experience anxiety disorders or people that have a trauma history. For these people, This information is often the source of anxiety or panic. Or we're also more likely to misinterpret our sensations and think that they mean something that they don't, which only increases the anxiety. So just like kryptonite makes Superman powerless, we have our own kryptonite as human beings. We live in a modern world that can take us out of our physical bodies. Stress, sedentary lifestyles, substance abuse, unhealthy food choices, and even endless scrolling on social media are all things that can take us out of our physical bodies. We sit too much, we exercise too little or too hard, we don't sleep when we're tired, we eat when we're not hungry, and we binge on way too many things. These things are very unique to us as a species. The thing is, though, if we're not managing our physical bodies, then we're not managing our mental health or our emotional health either. So the thing is, conversations about a deeper connection with our body can be very uncomfortable for some of us, especially those of us with anxiety or trauma. However, connecting with our body is still the most important way to have clarity about ourselves, our emotions, what we want, what we like, and overall what's happening with us at any given moment. Now more than ever, we need tools to help us to connect with our bodies and listen to the messages that it's giving us. So what works for us? What helps us to build a better connection with our body and to listen to it more closely? Well, the good thing is there are a lot of things. We can learn about things like the vagus nerve or interoception. We can practice meditation, mindfulness. We can listen to music. These things help us manage our emotions and connections to other people. It gives us states of relaxation, and it just gives us so many other benefits for our mind and our body. When we practice mindfulness, this is simply being present in this moment, being aware of what's happening, while holding back judgment from our situation, positive or negative. What does it feel like to just be with it? To be with your body, to be with your food when you're eating, to be with your walk when you're walking, to just be even more connected while we're in the midst of our experience. Outside of mindfulness, there are other practices that are body-centered as well that you can engage in. Two other resources that can help people who struggle with interoceptive awareness are psychosomatic therapy and trauma-informed yoga. These practices help you to build a more healthy relationship with your body and to feel more comfortable in your own skin. To be honest, we all can use more tools to help us to be more healthy people. Through interoception, we can investigate our inward experience, be curious about what's going on with our emotions and physical sensations, and ultimately lead ourselves to a healthier human experience and a higher quality of life. Thank you for taking a few moments to go on this inward journey, and I look forward to talking to you again in the next 5M Soulful Self Care experience. Be well.